Hello and welcome. This is the Ed and Erna show.
I'm over here. I'm
Yes.
over here.
Yeah.
Which finger?
I'm just doing both of them so that people.
Okay, it is the Cat and Anna
Listening.
show, and as
Yeah.
always, Anna hasn't located where I am. But
No, it's so difficult because for me in the screen you are on the left side. That actually means that you are on the right side.
no,
Oh, you are on the left side.
yes, that's right.
Oh, gosh. Okay. So, anyways, welcome to the Cat and Anna Show, your weekly dose of spirituality, of hypnotherapy, of empowerment, of life, of
Love
the
and
best
laughter.
things possible. What?
Love and laughter.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. One
Yeah.
day not laughed is one day not lived.
Ooh,
Yes. That's a Dutch saying.
yeah,
So
new to me.
today, oh no, first, the weirder we are, the better. So
Yeah.
like us, follow us, share, and click the bell.
Sorry, just a second.
Click the bell. I don't hear anything.
You don't.
No. So
So
today, yeah, we were talking about a number of topics to discuss today.
we were
But actually, it was quite difficult to choose one thing.
so many
So,
options.
yeah, there's so many options. So, what did we end up with? Numerology, planets,
We
uh,
did.
something like that.
We talked about before that. We talked about clairvoyance, numerology, and business astrology, and then we landed on, because we have been on that numerology astrology travel trip. I think that's why we landed on that each number in numerology is linked to a planet. Not each number. The numbers from 1 to 9 and the number 15 is linked to a planet. And then we talked about you, or people
Yes.
that are born on the 13th in
Yeah.
any month.
Yeah. So what? But
And the
if
4th.
if the numbers 1 to 9 and 15 are linked to planets, how come
Yeah,
13?
great question. And that's why I actually remembered, and that's why I wanted to say that if you are born on the 13th, then you plus the 1 with the 3, which is 4. So initially, it's the number 4 that is linked to Uranus.
Ooh,
Um,
and
so if you're
Uranus?
born on the, what else gives, on the 22nd, 2 plus 2 is 4, and then you are linked to Uranus, as well as if you were born on the 31st.
Or the 4th
Yes. Or the 4th.
and the 3rd.
So,
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So it works like that.
mhm.
All right.
So, and Uranus is a planet that just wants to look at the grass on the other side because it's
No.
greener. Yes.
Well, so okay, the grass is greener. I can sort of relate to that.
Feeling of, even though I could be or should be happy with what I'm doing, something over there looks more fun, interesting. Yeah. So it could be a person that is changing careers a lot, moving a lot. Could be a model because of the traveling and
Okay.
curiosity towards the world. It's also a person who is innovative, gets ideas a lot. Yeah, it is. But it's also a person that needs to not needs to, but if the person wants to grow and get use of the full potential,
Mhm.
find a satisfaction with what they're doing or how they're living instead of always looking outside to find
Ah,
something.
okay.
Yeah.
Haha.
Hmm.
Well, I can relate to that actually. I was a quite a job hopper. It's just, I'm going from one thing to another. It doesn't interest me anymore. I've had a job for 10 years. Oh no, 11. That's never happened. It's just because it's close by and it was flexible.
Yeah.
So when the kids were smaller, it was easy because if something was wrong or if I needed to go to school or whatever, I could just go
Hmm.
with a ton of days off and yeah, and only 10 minutes from my home. So that's the only reason that I stayed there for 11 years. But yeah, even now I am doing things and then I'm looking at something else on like Instagram. I saw pottery. I love pottery. I've never done it, but it's always been
Me
it's
too.
like it's like beekeeping, you know? It's
Yeah.
always been somewhere since I was younger in my mind. Oh, that would be so nice to be able to do pottery.
Hmm.
So now on my Instagram feed and on my TikTok feed, there's pottery all over, of course. And there's this one woman that does holistic
Hmm.
pottery or
Oh,
infuses the pottery with spirituality. The moment I saw that, I was like,
I want to do that.
exactly. I saw opportunities and it's like,
Yeah.
it's really nice. So I actually looked up a course and then it's like, maybe I should just back off and make what I'm doing now first. Let me grow that first. And then when I have the time, I can do this pottery course and then I can implement it in what I am doing now.
And that was
Oh,
what I was about to say. Maybe because you have a lot of ideas, as do I, but you also have a lot of projects, which
yeah.
I kind of don't at the moment because there's too many ideas, so I can't choose
Yeah,
one.
and you warned me about not having too many projects.
I did, and now when you said that, I was like, Anna, 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 do not start that because what about your horses that you wanted to do therapy with? With. Like that's a great idea as well, and you have it already.
Yeah. Yes.
You don't need to go on a course and learn. So is this a thing, not you, but in general, is this a thing where we find new things we want to learn because they're interesting, but also to keep us procrastinating on what we really want?
Yeah, I think for me, it's the procrastination and maybe also a little bit of the imposter syndrome. Like,
Yeah.
no, if I'm not good enough at what I'm doing now, then I can always have the creativity of making things. And yes, projects will go wrong when you do pottery. Of course, that's also a learning curve. But
And imagine if everything goes wrong every single time. It's like,
no,
shouldn't have started. That
no,
would
but
be.
I am sure that I could, I'm really good at that. I've never done it, but I'm really good at that. I know
I
it.
know I'm not.
Let's do a pottery course together.
It will be fun, I promise.
Yeah.
But I would love to. I would love to make my own cup, my own mug,
Yeah.
and paint it. And I think it's just, and you can do it just for a few hours in Denmark. I just haven't found out where yet. But for a date, that would be great. Not that I'm going on dates, but if I were, even though I'm married, but that's because we're
You
married.
can have you can
Yes.
have women dates.
Yeah. Will you come to Denmark and then we can go
Oh, of course.
make a mug?
Of course. I can do that.
But
No
I have to
problem.
say about the Uranus thing and the numbers that gives 4, like the 4, the 13, the 22, and the 31. Those are all different. So what I describe right now is actually the number 13. And some of it lies within all of the others,
Yeah.
but not all of them. For instance, the number 22, you tend to be a little naive. You see all good in people, but sometimes you see what's you kind of tell yourself that it will be better, or they come from a good place, or blah blah blah, and you don't learn from that. You can't. It's like you have greasy glasses on, so you can't really
Ah,
see
yeah.
what's going on.
Yeah.
So that's a lesson in that.
Yeah.
Mm. And you don't necessarily. You might sit there and think, "Oh, I know that feeling," but at the moment we're talking about the day, the date where you were born. But
Yeah.
in your birthday or in your name, I'm doing this. You don't understand, so that. Like, why am I doing this? It's because we have a triangle, and then we put the date of birth, the month, and the year, and those numbers are added together and gives other numbers, and in that you can have the number 22, or in your names that also has numbers, you can have that. So there are many things that you can
Mm.
relate to,
I
but
have a
some.
4. My name, 4 letters. Well, my first name.
What about your first name?
There's 4 letters. There's a number
Yeah,
4.
but it's not like that.
Oh, okay.
The E is 5, plus R is 2, that's 7, plus
Oh,
N is 5, that's 12, plus A is 1, that's
13.
13.
Oh, shit.
So you
See?
have it in your first name and in your date of birth. So you really have it. But if then we look at your name and your date of birth, then you have the 13, which is 4, and your name, the 13, which is 4. So you plus the 2 4s and put it in here, and that's an 8.
Yeah.
And when you have 4 and 8 together, it's linked to, can't remember the word in Danish, but like you will be brought into circumstances that will shake you up, not just a small thing that you have to overcome. It's like huge,
Yeah.
not necessarily in a good way.
Yeah. Oh,
But
I can relate to that.
if you learn from it and you grow from it, you can use it in a good way. But it's just like
Yeah.
it's a karmic something. I have to look that up. Yeah.
Hmm.
So we're filled with names and letters and numbers, and it all has a meaning.
Yeah. It's actually interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
But what if you so if now that I know that, and if I would really keep that in mind all the time with everything I do, would that be like negative? Would that affect me negatively? Or does that not matter? Or am I rambling here?
No, it's just if you think of it all the time, then you're not living.
Yeah.
If you want to change something and you've learned that you have to, if you want to do something, and instead of go looking at pottery things, you will know that you will grow more if you stop doing that and focus on what you're doing, which everybody would benefit from. But for
Yeah,
you
true.
specifically, it's more, what's the word? It's it has a bigger effect as the effect when you see something else. It's bigger than when someone else sees it and just feel like, oh,
Yeah.
I could do that. Then it's more with you. But there are challenges and potentials in every number. So
Yeah, for that counts for everybody, right?
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
The funny thing is, just remember that I've had an astrology report done on me.
Yeah.
And when I read that, and I read all of the planets that is in my date of birth in the horoscope, then it's the same as when I do the numerology on my date of birth.
Really? So
Yeah,
it's so linked,
yeah,
astrology and numerology.
yeah, it really is. I didn't know that. Yeah, I've heard it, but reading it and seeing it,
Yeah.
that's different.
But
As
it's
well as the
also with like
planets.
human design. It's not
Yeah,
numerology, it's not astrology, but it is linked to it. Because
yeah.
I have my human design chart is also with the, oh no, was it human design? No, that was another a different thing. I have not a numerology thing and also not astrology and also not human design. I do have the human design as well, but okay.
What you're talking about now has nothing to do with human design, but you have something else that
That
kind of,
resembles
yeah,
like the Star of David with the
yeah.
triangles.
And in
Oh, how did
numerology, we have something else. We have the date of birth. I'm going to show you in a minute. It's going to do that. This is
ah
where the date of birth would be, and this would be the names.
yeah,
So the date
okay.
of birth and the first name, middle names, and the surname.
Yeah, okay, okay. So that is more like a, how do you
Diamond.
call that? A
I would
diamond.
call it a diamond. A diamond.
Diamonds are
Diamonds are
forever.
forever. Did you know? I've
Oh,
never ever watched a James Bond movie. I have watched bits of it. I have never ever
no.
watched Star Wars. No, and I'm not going to, because now I take pride in not having.
Oh my God.
No, it seems boring, and I don't want to see it. And every boyfriend I've had is like, "Haven't you watched Star Wars? No. Let's see it. No. Really? No." And then it
What about your
became,
husband? Has he seen Star Wars? And he wants to see it with you? Oh
and
gosh.
as well as the Marvel movies. I started, but the first one is so boring. The beginning, I'm off. I just and it's unrealistic, and Harry Potter is unrealistic as well. But I'm all into that,
Yeah,
and
that's
Lord of the
fun.
Rings, and what's the one with the red-haired hunky guy?
Oh, Ron Weasley.
No, 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 not
Oh,
him. The one with the woman who comes from the 1940s, and I can never remember the title. You know who it is, the
oh
Scottish
yeah,
one.
Outlander.
Yeah, I'm
Outlander.
all into that, but Star Wars and
Yeah, but
James
those
Bond.
are
No, thank
well, Outlander is a series.
Ah,
So that's different.
no.
Harry Potter is movies.
It's the content I'm talking about. That's unrealistic as well, some might say.
Yeah,
And so is Star Wars, some might say. But I'm not into that.
but Outlander can maybe
Mhm.
be realistic because we know that there are more than just what this one dimension.
Yes. And that's why I said some might say, because I remember that actually, for me, it is kind of realistic. So,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
This might be
Yeah.
something that can happen to us.
Yeah. And the parallel worlds that people are talking about as well. Like, what if the people we knew who has passed now live in a world?
It's
What's the word?
parallel to
Yeah,
us.
and they're just in a different layer, and that is actually what I believe. But
Yeah,
what if they are there and reborn again somewhere else, and I am here, but I'm also in a
reborn
previous
again.
life and in a future's life?
Yeah,
Ugh, goosebumps.
yeah.
Maybe that means that
Oh,
I'm correct, because every time I get that, it's like,
yes,
okay,
like
you're
okay,
right.
that's it.
So maybe I am correct. Thank
Sure
you.
sign. I've got
It
the
is
same.
always a sign.
I've got the same. When I get goosebumps, it's like, oh fuck,
Yeah,
something's just.
yeah. When I have a sitting and I get goosebumps, I always ask if the other one is having goosebumps, and they do. And that's because you're spot on. So,
Yeah.
okay. But I don't want to be living in a previous life
Why
as this
not?
because I've been told I'm a nun and that I feel restricted and that I'm not living out my potential that I do have. And that is why I'm not doing it now.
Yeah.
So if I am doing that, please let the nun know that she can tell them to and go do her thing.
Well, depends on what age that nun of yours lived.
I don't know. I've also been a gypsy. That makes sense. The nun thing
So
actually
you've
makes
got a
sense as
nun
well.
and a gypsy. Let the
Which,
gypsy take over. Witch. Well, you are a witch, but
because I work with herbs as a nun, and as a gypsy, I had crystals, hence the oils with the herbs and the crystals.
ah,
So maybe that way. I've always been moving a lot. I went to a Catholic school.
oh, you,
Yeah,
oh,
no.
Uranus, girl.
I have it in my date of birth thing.
Ah, ah,
So yeah. Hmm.
nice. We're both Uranus. Mm, mm,
Which is a word my husband loves to say.
Uranus,
Your
your
anus.
anus. Yeah.
Ha ha ha.
So funny. So funny.
43 years old and still.
Oh gosh.
Oh,
Yep. Nice.
yeah.
Okay, so we we started numerology, astrology, like, and then we developed to yeah. Yeah, but
Yeah.
actually I like that
Yeah, me too.
because in that lies realization and learning.
Yeah, it
For me
does.
at least. For me at least.
Yeah, yeah, me too. I love that we're not just focused on one thing, but that we just
It's a
talk about what comes up.
yeah, it's an evolution.
It's a flow. It's not that, oh, we talked about, we wanted to talk about this and only this. And now, Kat, you're on a different path again.
Let's yeah.
So let's get
Let's
back
just
to business. Focus, dear. And then, okay, and then it might be boring. And so, yeah. So if you're not into that, then yeah,
sorry. Sorry
not sorry.
sorry, not
Not sorry.
sorry. Sorry,
No,
not sorry to disappoint.
no, because we are who we are, and this is the way we want it to be.
Yeah. So
Boom.
you can maybe imagine now that every time we talk to each other, we start with something
Yeah.
and then we end up way, way the other way up.
Yeah, but we always kind of close the thing, or end the thing that we're talking about. We always go back or feel like we've resolved what we needed to talk about.
Exactly.
Or
Exactly.
at least I do.
So I would love to know a bit more about numerology. And when I have something about astrology, not astrology, astrology, I always turn to my daughter.
Yeah.
So that's easy. But I do like the subject.
The
So
astrology subject.
as
Mm.
well, yeah, yeah.
Mm. Yeah, me too.
So maybe
I
we
love
should
it.
look into that a bit more.
I want to know
He
about
knows.
astrology as well. And feng shui, and I want to be a sexologist, and I want to be a
Oh my
couples
God.
therapist, and I
Hey, we
also
did
want to.
feng shui. We already did feng shui, huh?
Yeah, I know, but I want a course on it.
You've got also some projects, so just take it
But
easy. No, I don't know.
but I can't remember what I was going to say. So, um, do we know anyone who knows more about astrology than we do?
I was just going to say that.
Because I know Nina, but I think we also need to have someone who knows more than Nina.
Yeah.
I don't know how much she knows, but
Well, she knows a lot. She really knows a lot.
could she? Oh, I remember. But could she sit down with your birthday and my birthday and do a whole what's the word? Analysis?
I can check. I can check.
Because that could be great.
That could be great.
And the thing is, I have looked into astrology, and it looks so damn complicated with all of the degrees
The
and
houses
layers
and
and
the
houses,
yeah.
and that was what I wanted to say before. So
Ah, okay. So let's see. If any of you out there, viewers, I'm now looking in the camera, any of you maybe have knowledge about astrology, like solid knowledge about astrology, and would like to join us, then please let us know. Send us an
please do.
email.
You can
You'll find all the information that you need to contact us below in the
comment section,
comment section
and you
thingy.
can comment instead of sending an email if that's
That's
easier.
also true. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we
And
want
please
to.
remember to like and share and subscribe and click the bell.
Bah, that one. Especially the last one. Because you get notifications.
Yes. And who wants to miss out? Not me.
Not me either. So with that, we're concluding this week's podcast. And next week, we're trying to get someone interesting to join us.
Yes.
But we're not going to say anything else.
No, because we don't know anything yet.
So
maybe it'll just be us, but that's also fine.
I love that. All right.
So.
Thank you very much for watching. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.